What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Johnny Nelson. Johnny Nelson states that Anthony Joshua could walk away if Oleksandr Usyk beats him again, says Johnny Nelson. Of course, we know Usyk outpointed Anthony Joshua the first fight. He won by unanimous decision, surprising Anthony Joshua in that decision, I might add. And in the second go-round, this is what Johnny Nelson had to say. He said he thinks Anthony Joshua may walk away from boxing if he is beaten by Oleksandr Usyk. He stated that he had to go back and lick his wounds emotionally as well as physically, Nelson told Sky Sports. Of the compatriot Joshua this week, the things that are said about him, how good he is, how good he was or isn't. He had to deal with all of that stuff and deal with the loss itself. He said now he's had to recharge himself, reset, rethink about how he's going to deal with this fight. We may be looking at a completely different animal now because he knows what Usyk is capable of doing. He knows what mistakes he's made. So, therefore, he's kind of gone and thought, you know what? This is my career, because it's not in his DNA to want to be hanging around the heavyweight division knowing there's a guy that is in the division that can beat you. It's a fighter's mentality. You always think, I'm going to be a world champion. I'm going to be this. He doesn't want to hang about. He wants to be the best guy. So if Usyk beats him, I reckon he'll walk away with this fight here. It's so important for Joshua's career, but he knows this might be the last big fight he's in. It's not in his DNA to stand back and be a gatekeeper for anybody. Let me counterpunch. That's a theory, because we know AJ is on the elite level, and I can understand why Johnny Nelson has said that. Based on what we've experienced from Anthony Joshua, especially when he took an L, because we've seen Anthony Joshua lose before. He took it quite well. Bars. And I think that when you're dealing with pedigree, you know, and this is what this is, will his ego be too much for him to continue his career? Because the only thing that stops Anthony Joshua from fighting, you know, besides a beating, a bad, severe beating or damage or an injury, would be his ego. If he took an L and he cannot continue after that, that means his ego will not allow him to fight other people to see where he's lined up in the sport of boxing, you know, without him humbling himself and saying, you know what, I fought the best and I've tried and you know, or one of the best and I've tried and I come up short. But I'm going to keep fighting because that's my mentality. You know, if he doesn't have that mentality, it's like, hey, well, I can't beat the best, therefore I shouldn't be around. That's all ego. Okay? That's what about being humble is about. You're not going to win every fight. Not if you fight the best. That's not going to happen. And for the people that haven't fought or hasn't lost, they haven't fought the best. Let's just be real. Eventually, somebody is going to be there to have your number. This is boxing. You have winners, you have losers. One loss doesn't define you. Matter of fact, not even two, not even three. But it's all about how you conduct yourself, all about how you take the loss, all about how you take the wins. You know, it's all about how you could persistently keep going in the sport to show people who you are. Because if you take one L and one loss and then that defines your whole career and you quit because of that, really, how serious are you? You know, but again, to me, it goes back to ego. So if Anthony Joshua just gets out of the sport of boxing, you can sum up a whole gang of reasons why you shouldn't support him or why he quit. You know, they could say, well, he had a glass chin. He couldn't handle punches no more. He's not what we thought he was. He was a hype train and he retired. You know, we'll never see Tyson Fury or fight with Deontay Wilder or Joe Joyce or whatever. We all won't see that because he retired. So I think if anything, if he does retire, based on how he loses, if he loses, I think that's what people's going to say. You know, but I feel that the fight has to go a certain way for him to walk away from the sport of boxing. I don't think that will be enough, but it would be interesting to see if that happens, to see what he does. because nothing shows a person's character after taking a loss. That's who you really know how a person really is. You know, losing is a very good learning lesson for anybody, and it reveals so much about that person within. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Johnny Nelson's prediction on Anthony Joshua if he loses. Of course, please subscribe, and you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!